deny my faith. That's an even bigger sin. It's not popular in my industry, but I cannot deny my faith. It's important for me to share that with people. I have friends from all walks of life. It's important to respect and honor them as well. God didn't come to save the saints, he came to save the sinners. We've all had things and issues in our lives, and we want to be better versions of ourselves. Through focusing on my faith, it's allowed me to do that. And the world affords you a lot of comfort, but we're not made for comfort. We're made for greatness. And in order to be greatness, we got to be in the fight to get the reward.
There have been rumblings in the entertainment industry about Mark Wahlberg allegedly outing his longtime friend and fellow actor Matt Damon for withholding some dark truths about the inner workings of Hollywood. Insiders claim that Wahlberg has been growing increasingly irritated with the culture of silence in Hollywood, where stars are frequently aware of upsetting truths but choose to keep quiet for the sake of their professions and reputations. In a recent interview, Wahlberg purportedly said that Matt Damon was a member of this system of secrecy and implied that Damon had remained silent regarding unethical behavior and shady business activities in the film industry. Wahlberg didn't go into detail about specific occurrences, but instead said that Damon, like many other A-list actors, has known about the darker side of Hollywood for years, but has chosen to turn a blind eye. In addition to hinting at long-standing industry rumors of exploitation, corruption, and misconduct, Wahlberg implied that Damon, despite his impeccable reputation, might have contributed to the continuation of these practices by remaining silent or failing to confront the truth in public. It's said that Damon and others have made it possible for some of Hollywood's darker elements to stay hidden. Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg have been friends for a long time. They frequently appear together in public and on screen in blockbuster movies, but their relationship appears to be strained as a result of Wahlberg's recent revelations. Insiders speculate that Wahlberg, who has been outspoken about his own challenging rise to fame and experiences in the industry, is starting to distance himself from the Hollywood elite mentality. He has reportedly grown wary of the false facade that many actors maintain and wants to expose what he perceives as Hollywood's hypocrisy. Wahlberg makes some very interesting claims, one of which is that Matt Damon has been purposefully concealing some facts about Hollywood. Although Wahlberg has not given specific examples of what Damon is allegedly hiding, Damon has long been thought of as one of the more reserved and private figures in the industry. The timing of this revelation has led many to speculate about Damon's involvement in or knowledge of certain scandals, from the Me Too movement to the various exposes on shady practices in Hollywood. On the other hand, Damon's quiet can be seen as collusion or, at the absolute least, a desire to preserve the reputation of the field that made him famous. Joe Rogan's Raw Manor has consistently produced compelling content, and this time was no different. He bided his time deep in Hollywood's shadows, revealing some fascinating relationships and exchanges that have generated a lot of discussion. And so he would boldly announce, "I'm going to make you a star," and he would wonderfully fulfill that promise. One of the most shocking revelations made by Rogan was the supposed involvement of male stars, such as the well-known Matt Damon, and his implied suggestions that it might go beyond simple business networking.
The hypocrites was in the first few days of this Harvey Weinstein.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Nobody wanted to see.
And you know what, man? At the end of the week, they're all gustos because they all knew about it.
Oh, they all knew about it.
They all knew about it for years, and now they all want to raise their. You know what, bro?
Joe Rogan recently discussed the disturbing and contentious revelations about Harvey Weinstein and the pervasive culture of exploitation in the entertainment business in a podcast episode. Rogan highlighted how Weinstein would give them hollow assurances that he would make them famous, only to take advantage of their ambitions, implying that some performers motivated by their pursuit of fame may have turned to unusual means. The entertainment world saw a sea change with Harvey Weinstein's fall from grace. One of the most disturbing aspects of his alleged wrongdoing, as Joe Rogan explained, was his sinister modus operandi. Famous comedian and actress Whitney Cummings brought attention to Weinstein's unsettling behavior pattern. It was reported that Weinstein would make grandiose promises to young, aspiring actors, but these offers came with a terrifying caveat. In exchange for their special treatment, the actors had to spend time alone with him. Weinstein allegedly promised aspiring actors that if they engaged with him, they would be rewarded with the chance to become stars in his films. But once an actor complied, they faced further exploitation. This chilling quid pro quo scenario was occasionally at the core of Weinstein's manipulation, as detailed by Rogan. Additionally, Rogan revealed that Weinstein would lavish these people with attention and perks in an attempt to keep them under his thumb. But this indulgent behavior came at a price. Weinstein demanded even more personal time from them in exchange for a sinister cycle of exploitation and manipulation that left the performers feeling completely forced to keep up the appearance of sincere love. According to Joe Rogan, Weinstein would coerce actors into sending him romantic, loving emails. These emails gave the impression of a loving relationship, but the actors were actually enraged at Weinstein for forcing them into compromising positions. What's even more troubling is that some of these actors would go so far as to become friends with Weinstein in the hopes of using their relationship with the Hollywood gatekeeper to further their careers. Possibly one of the most startling things Rogan revealed was how celebrities of both sexes were caught up in Weinstein's web of deceit and manipulation.
Affleck.
Actually, they did some genealogy thing, and we found out that we have some relative from the 1600s who was a bricklayer who we have in common ancestor.
Okay.
So apparently we're related.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Is Matt Damon in Game of Thrones? Are you in Game of Thrones?
I'm into Game of Thrones, but I'm not in Game of Thrones.
Is Matt Damon moving to Niceville, Florida?
I'm not. There are stories that come on the internet, various towns. I've been told that I'm moving to about 6 or 7 different towns, small towns in different states. Don't know where that comes from.
I think it's just wishful thinking. They want me to move to their town. Is Matt Damon dead?
I hope not.
That's terrible. He's not dead.
Well, maybe culturally speaking. Maybe I'm over. He's so dead.
Reportedly, one prominent figure in H with Matt Damon saw his career skyrocket thanks in part to his collaboration with Harvey Weinstein on the critically acclaimed film Good Will Hunting. Damon, a Hollywood A-lister, has admitted that Weinstein's backing played a significant role in his myth-work rise to fame. Ben Affleck, a close friend and collaborator of Matt Damon, played a pivotal role in Good Will Hunting and was closely tied to Harvey Weinstein during the film's production. Like Damon, Affleck's career soared following the success of their 1997 collaboration. When accepting the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, Damon Affleck notably thanked Weinstein, saying it's common for us to thank Harvey Weinstein, who believed in us and made this movie. This acknowledgement highlights the profound impact Weinstein had on the careers of these prominent actors. Joe Rogan takes a more penetrating look at the underlying dynamics at work and proposes that the connections between Weinstein and other prominent male actors like Damon and Affleck may have extended beyond the professional realm. Rogan hints at a more intricate interaction where the boundaries between ambition and personal compromise were likely blurred. This perspective forces us to rethink our perception of power dynamics within the industry and prompts difficult questions about the decisions made by those who reap the benefits of Weinstein's influence amid the Weinstein scandal. It becomes clear that Hollywood's power dynamics extended beyond the relationships between influential producers and hopeful actresses. Male actors also faced situations where their ambitions were entangled with the challenges of navigating an industry infamous for its exploitative practices. Moreover, Matt Damon and George Clooney's admission of their awareness of Weinstein's behavior highlights a troubling culture of silence that permeated Hollywood, as discussed during their interview on Good Morning America in October 2017. When their personal and professional connections with Weinstein created a difficult situation, they reflected on their views of him as both a mistreater and a womanizer. Despite this, they insisted they were unaware of the full scope of the allegations against him. During the interview, Damon made a noteworthy confession. He knew about Weinstein's behavior toward Gwyneth Paltrow before she began filming Emma in 1996. This revelation was pivotal, highlighting a troubling facet of the entertainment industry's culture of silence. For context, Paltrow had previously recounted a disturbing experience with Weinstein, detailing how he lured her to a hotel under the pretense of a work meeting. He made unwanted advances and suggested they move to a bedroom for massages at just 22. Poirot felt terrified and later confided in her then boyfriend Brad Pitt, who confronted Weinstein about the incident. Damon's acknowledgement of his awareness of PTR's ordeal brings up significant questions about complicity and silence. While he claimed never to have discussed the matter with PTR, he did disclose that Ben Affleck, another actor closely tied to Weinstein, had informed him of the situation. Damon shared that Affleck had informed him of an agreement between Weinstein and PTRO, noting that Weinstein had treated her with considerable respect following their arrangement. This revelation sheds light on the intricate network of relationships and power dynamics that shape Hollywood. Joe Rogan's suggestion that Damon's silence may have stemmed from a fear of losing support from a key figure, as well as his ascent to fame, adds another layer to this complex narrative. Allegedly, Damon even went so far as to cover up Weinstein's actions in 2017. Sharon Waxman, the Rap founder, accused the New York Times of retracting a similar expose she had reported on back in 2004 under immense pressure from high-profile figures like Matt Damon and Russell Crowe. Waxman revealed that her piece had originally focused on an executive at Mirama Max's branch, who was allegedly paid to facilitate Weinstein's essay, recounted that Weinstein's pressure included direct calls from Damon and Crowe vouching for Lombardo, as well as discussions far beyond her influence at the Times. Ultimately, the story was significantly altered. Waxman was informed that Weinstein had personally visited the newsroom to express his displeasure, aware of Weinstein's status as a major advertiser and influential figure. Waxman saw this as a significant factor in the story's revision. Damon later claimed he had no knowledge of the specifics of Waxman's piece, only that Weinstein had informed him the paper was targeting Lombardo unfairly. Joe Rogan's theory prompts us to consider the experiences of other male actors who might have been pressured, manipulated, or coerced into crossing their own boundaries. While these claims are speculative, they highlight the need for a broader conversation about power and coercion in the film industry. Rogan's exploration of these uncomfortable topics reminds us that the issues at play extend beyond gender, questioning the ethical limits actors might push in their quest for fame and how power dynamics can shape their career.
We've seen the Bill Cosby stories. We've seen the President of the United States tell us exactly what he does. We've seen this go on and on and on. I think we have to get to the point where, and maybe this is it, maybe this is the watershed moment, where we believe women, where they feel safe that they can talk about what they're experiencing. People love to say Hollywood, and you go, well, it's everywhere. You know, it's Hollywood because it's famous people talking about it, but it's everywhere.
The fact that somebody that powerful, his career has been completely ruined, and I think that's a real message to anybody who would behave like this. I think that social media has given everybody a voice and a platform, and everyone realizes that they're not alone, and women realize that they're not alone, and that their voice matters and their voice can be heard, and that means behavior is going to change. I think it has to change.
Although it is commonly known that Harvey Weinstein preyed mostly on women in the entertainment world, new revelations indicate that men may have also been among his victims. Particularly startling is that, according to allegations, several of these individuals may have engaged in consensual interactions with Weinstein. Joe Rogan, who warned that these male actors' engagement would go beyond simple professional networking, shared this startling revelation, which was offered by Matt Damon. Investigating the disturbing and contentious revelations about Harvey Weinstein and the pervasive culture of exploitation in the entertainment business, Joe Rogan proposed that a few performers in their unwavering chase of, even if celebrities may have followed unusual routes to become famous, one of the most unnerving aspects of Weinstein's purported behavior, as noted by Rogan, was his intimidating demeanor. Weinstein's troubling pattern was revealed by actress and comedian Whitney Cummings. Rogan exposed the deeply unsettling quid pro quo that Weinstein used to entice young, aspiring actors. He allegedly promised these actors that if they performed close to him, they would be given the highly sought-after opportunity to star in his films. But once they complied with his demands, these offers were tainted by a terrifying caveat. requests the exploitation only became more intense. Rogan said that in order to keep his hold on these people, Weinstein would give them a lot of attention and perks, but this lavish attention came at a sinister cost. Weinstein insisted that the actors have more and more private and intimate interactions with him. It was a terrifying cycle of exploitation and manipulation that left the actors feeling trapped. While these emails seemed to portray a loving relationship, Rogan revealed that Weinstein had the actors send him adoring, even romantic, emails in order to maintain the facade of affection. However, beneath the surface, the actors were harboring deep resentment for the precarious situation they were forced into. It's even been revealed that, even more unsettling is the realization that some actors actively sought out Weinstein's friendship in the hopes of using Hollywood's infamous gatekeeper to further their careers. One of the most concerning aspects of Weinstein's alleged misconduct, as highlighted by Rogan, is that both male and female celebrities found themselves caught in his manipulative web. This viewpoint challenges our understanding of the power dynamics in the industry, raising uncomfortable questions about the choices made by those who benefited from his influence. The Weinstein scandal reveals that Hollywood's power structures extended far beyond the exchanges between powerful producers and budding actresses.
You know, Harvey would talk to me about women that he'd had affairs with. I didn't necessarily believe them, quite honestly, because to believe them would be to believe kind of the worst of some actresses who were friends of mine.
I knew it was, you know, I mean, he was proud of that.
The unsettling claims of abuse by their former mentor, Harvey Weinstein, are now being accepted by George Clooney and Matt Damon.
You had to spend about 5 minutes with him to know that he was a bully, he was intimidating.
In the 1990s, Harvey Weinstein and his company Magic helped both guys become superstars.
I said do what I do, I said do what I say.
George's choice would be the 1996 movie Dust Till, because male performers may also encounter situations where their ambitions were strongly intertwined with the desire to work in a field that is well known for its predatory tactics. The interview highlights the complex nature of Matt Damon and George Clooney's friendship with Harvey Weinstein, as they acknowledge being aware of his behavior. Damon revealed something very important. He was aware of Weinstein's abuse of Gwyneth Paltrow before she started filming Emma in 1996. This revelation was crucial in exposing the unsettling culture of silence in the entertainment business. Furthermore, it was reported that Damon's close relationship with Weinstein encouraged him to actively conceal the mogul's wrongdoing in 2017. Renowned rap artist Sharon Waxman asserted in 2004 that the New York Times had pulled out of a piece she was working on as a result of intense pressure from powerful people, including Russell Crowe and Matt Damon. According to Waxman, her inquiry focused on an executive at Marama Max's Italian restaurant. After receiving constant pressure from Harvey Weinstein, including calls from Damon and Crowe endorsing the executive and other high-level conversations at the Times, Branch, who was purportedly bought off to enable Weinstein's misconduct, revealed that her narrative had been drastically changed. Moreover, Waxman said that Weinstein had personally visited the newsroom to voice his dissatisfaction, citing his considerable influence as a prominent advertiser with the Times. In response, Damon claimed he was unaware of the subject of Waxman's story and that Weinstein had only informed him that the paper was doing a hit piece on Lombardo. Harvey said, "Shin Waxman is writing a really negative story about Fabrizio. Could you just call and tell her what your experience with Fabrizio was?" Her piece, as I recall it, only mentioned that Russell and I had called and shared our experiences with Fabrizio. As for George Clooney, he seemed to defend Weinstein when the allegations against him started flooding the internet. Harvey added,
Everyone, I think what's frustrating is the message getting sent out right now seems to be to young men, or to all men, that if you deny.
Clooney further elaborated on his hypocrisy by expressing outrage and demanding to know who was aware of the misconduct allegations against Weinstein and why it took so long for these details to surface. Speaking on the Today Show, Clooney added that while he had heard about rumors regarding Weinstein's misconduct, he had dismissed them. He explained that he had heard rumors, some dating back to the 90s, suggesting that certain actresses had slept with Harvey to secure roles. It seemed like an attempt to tarnish their reputations and undermine their accomplishments, so he took those rumors with a grain of salt. Clooney added that anyone who knew about the story but chose not to disclose it should be held accountable. We're curious about the amount of money that was spent by Miramax and the Weinstein Company. We should have recognized that this is a form of assault, harassment, and silencing of women. And he went on. Although I was aware that he was a cruel coworker, I'm incensed over the notion that he had performed such horrors. I want to know who knew at least. In 2017, Terry Crews became another male actor who fell victim to the exploitative tactics of Hollywood elites. After the Harvey Weinstein scandal arose, Crews came forward at 49 after the Harvey Weinstein scandal came to light. He said the case triggered PTSD for him because it reminded him of his own traumatic experience. Crews disclosed that he had been mistreated by a well-known Hollywood executive, but he decided not to take action or speak out at the time out of fear of being shunned or facing legal repercussions. He described a startling incident from a 2016 industry event in which a male executive who was not identified touched him inappropriately in front of his wife and smiled at their shocked response. He acknowledged that he thought about confronting the man but refrained out of fear of the possible fallout and the possibility of being misrepresented in the media. He feared headlines like 240 Ubs Black Man. Huge legal repercussions would ensue if Hollywood royalty was to be trampled. Because he was afraid of being shunned, Crews chose not to make a public announcement about the incident, acknowledging that it was typical of a person in a position of authority and influence. He said the experience has increased his empathy and understanding for the silent. Crews also mentioned that the executive had later called to apologize, but had not explained his actions. In spite of Terry Crews' original decision to conceal his identity, Crews stressed that Harvey Weinstein is not the only offender and expressed hope that by telling his tale, he may both discourage predators and give hope to people who are feeling hopeless. Questions concerning potential exploitation by other powerful individuals, like Harvey Weinstein, are raised by Adam Bennett's determination to keep it secret. Notably, it was the revelations regarding Harvey Weinstein's predatory behavior that left Crews struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder. Crews' public exposure of the Bennett attack has caused conjecture about wider patterns of harassment inside the film industry. The brave decision made by the crew to share his tale exposes a wider systemic problem in the sector where powerful people frequently use their authority without restraint, leaving others open to exploitation. Aired his tale in public in 2018, bringing attention to the widespread issue of abuse in Hollywood and inspiring others to come forward and seek justice. Terry Crews told the Senate Judiciary Committee that he was threatened with violence for reporting maltreatment. He claimed that an agent from Hollywood had threatened him with trouble if he didn't back out of his civil lawsuit. Crews disclosed that the Expendables producer A.I. Unner had gotten in touch with his manager, requesting that he withdraw his lawsuit against Adam in return for a part in the new movie. Crews went on to discuss the darker side of Hollywood, calling it a troubled place where many people view their careers as dreams that are exploited by those in positions of power, making mistreatment appear like a standard part of the job. He also admitted to the senators that he had not originally planned to speak out about the incident because he was afraid that law enforcement would reject his claims. Nevertheless, with the growth of the Me Too movement, he discovered that it is safe to come forward when you are victimized. I definitely would have been laughed out of the police station, Crow said. Since no one is nearby to assist you or believe you, Ed, you are currently trapped behind enemy lines and attempting to make your way to safety. Crews, a former titan of the entertainment business, said,
in the Me Too movement, an Italian actress who accused Harvey Weinstein. Tonight, her own behavior is now under the microscope, facing allegations of her own, reportedly paying a settlement to a young actor who was 17 when she allegedly...
Beyond his fall from grace, a series of scandals spanning several decades that followed Harvey Weinstein's spectacular collapse exposed the murky underbelly of a business where wealth and influence had long protected wrongdoers from punishment. Weinstein was well known for his strong reputation as a producer with an extraordinary knack for winning Oscars for his films. He was a co-founder of Miramax and later Weinstein Company. He had a number of critically praised films in his career, but beneath the glamour and glitz of the red carpet was an unsettling habit of behavior that was well kept hidden. If you like this video, be sure to check out some of our others that are playing.